All right, well, looks like I only got one in person, but that's okay. Thank you everyone who's on Zoom for hanging in. If you have any questions throughout, feel free to ask. My camera's up here, so I'll kind of be a little all over. So today I wanted to go over with you the 2022, your business calendar. What it all entails, what you should be putting on it to make it important and special. And that way it's going to help you generate more business. The more focused you are, the more you have a plan of attack, the more successful your business is going to be. So today, let me make this smaller. We're going to go over for your business calendar, your big why. We're going to identify why you're doing what you're doing. That's going to help you remember and keep you on task of why you're doing it. We're going to how to change. I know it's a hard word for people, but it's more growth than change. So we're going to look into that. We're going to recognize your best options. I don't want you to come in with the expectation that you have to create this whole new thing. If you're not a digital person, don't use a digital calendar. If you're not a paper person, don't use a paper calendar. So we want to evaluate the best options to set yourself up for success. And then finding your top 5. What is the top 5 things you need to have on your calendar? That's regular time blocking. That's things that you're going to do repetitively, or even if it's, vacation, you definitely want to get that on your calendar. So we're going to figure out what the top 5 things you are or you need. Then we're going to talk about meaningful time blocking. You can put time blocks on your schedule for reoccurring things or certain things, but we need to make sure we're actually doing them. So we'll dive into that. And then to wrap it all up, we're going to talk about how we're going to stay accountable. So every year you make goals, you set them, and then life happens. So we're going to figure out a way to keep it on track. So first, your big why. Gary Keller quote, "Success demands singleness of purpose." So to me, that means you have one objective and you do everything you can to meet that objective. Same with the goal, same with your big why. Why are you in real estate? What is the reason that you want to do what you're doing? So for me, my big why is to help people, to make your lives easier, to allow you to tap into tools that you have or may not realize you have to make your life easier, to make your business more seamless, and to help you grow your business. So identifying it, what is it that drives you? What is it that makes you think, I can do this for another day, I can do this for another week, I can do it for another month, and I'll do it the rest of my life? What is it within you that makes you want to do it? Next thing is, who do you show up every day for? Do you have family at home that depend on you? Is there somebody that really inspires you, or is there somebody you loathe with every ounce of your being and you want to prove them wrong? Who is that? And just keep that person in your mind. Put a picture on your wall if you have to. And then what is your sole purpose? What is your overall goal? What helps you breathe every day knowing that you get to do this? So understanding your big why and what it is about you and being a part of you is going to help you understand how your logic and business go together. So as you see on our iceberg here, we'll be looking at it multiple times. You'll see the bottom of the iceberg is the purpose. Now, when we look at icebergs, you only see this part of it. But down here is what really matters, because that is your foundation. So your purpose is your foundation. Once you know it, you can build up from it. So then we're going to get into the loveliness of how to change. Nobody likes change. Nobody wants to change, but you're here today. So that tells me you have an ounce of want to change in there. So the quote from JP Morgan, "The first step towards getting somewhere is to decide that you are not going to stay where you are." So you're an agent for a reason. You realize that deals aren't just going to come to you, so you have to get out there and find them. Now, if you're new, that is a whole new world for you. If you're an experienced or seasoned agent and you've been doing X, Y, and Z, and it may be fruitful, it may be successful, but if you want to stay there, that's great. If you don't and you want to grow, then you need to realize and tweak what you need to make changes for the better. So you're already doing it. Nobody likes change. Everyone says they don't like change, they hate change. You're already doing it. That is the only constant in your life, in anybody's life, is change. Everything changes. Your applications on your phones change and update. They look different. The colors change. Even if it's minute, it changes. Whether you like it or not, it does. So when we get in that mindset of change equals growth, you can't, even if you don't succeed in what you're trying to do by changing, you learn from it. So even though that change may not have been the outcome you wanted, you still learn from that. So you're going to grow from it. So you want to think about what ways you will make it so you can enjoy it. So learn and grow, and that causes change. Successful change does not have to be difficult. So again, going back, you don't have to make this big ordeal, this big scheme. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It can be as simple as every Sunday writing what you're doing for the next week. You don't have to make this big elaborate plan, start from scratch, tweak what you're already doing or what you already use. Every one of you have a smartphone. If you use the smartphone, if you like it, you know it's with you all the time, then use that calendar. If you are not a tech person and you don't want to rely on that, have a planner in your purse or in your car that you can take with you no matter where you are. So there are different ways to go about this and make it realistic to you, not necessarily one way fits all. So recognizing your obstacles, what is holding you back? What is keeping you from doing what you plan to do? And we're going to kind of go through a little exercise here to help you identify that. And then how do you plan to resolve those obstacles? Half of identifying the problem is resolving. So you can identify it, but if you don't plan to fix it, it's not going to change. So in the book, How to Change, The Science of Getting from Where You Are to Where You Want to Be by Katie Milkman. They talked about this book a little bit in Masterminds, Fall Masterminds. I happened to be planning this class as I was listening to it, and it was kind of funny. It spoke right to exactly the information I needed. So what Katie did was actually host science experiments. She kind of observed people and their behaviors and give them incentives in a few different routes to see which way that they would go and what changes they would make to achieve whatever goal that she had set for them. So that means, just to give a reference, she did an exercise. She did an exercise experiment. So she took Barnes & Noble gift cards and went to a gym. Hello, ladies. Went to a gym and said, if you sign up, here's a $20 Barnes & Noble gift card. The purpose and the goal of this was to entice people to exercise and also to increase their reading. And what she found was that people signed up for the gym, they went and got that Barnes & Noble gift card, and then they stopped. They never went back. Then on the flip side, she did another experiment where she had people sign up to go to a gym, and while they were at the gym in their earbuds or their headphones, they could listen to an audible book. And in order for them so they'll get the first 30 pages. And in order for them to continue listening to that book, they had to go back to the gym and exercise. And through that experiment, she learned that habits can be created if it is enticing. So it's a really great book. Everyone should read it.
What's it called?
How to Change by Katie Milkman. It was like $20 on Amazon. I was looking at it last night. But she identifies the 7 obstacles that you typically have, or most commonly have when it comes to making any changes. The first one, and I don't think they're in any order of like relevance or anything like that, First one's getting started. Getting started can be overwhelming. Like, I don't know where to begin, what to do, where to go. So that can be an option for you, or an obstacle. Impulsivity. That's me. I see anything shiny and I'm like, squirrel. I want to see it all. I want to do it all. I want to learn it all. But then that takes me off course of what I need to be doing. And I'm doing more of what I want to be doing.
Mhm.
Then you have procrastination. I feel like that's kind of it happens. You wait till the last minute, and then things tend to come up or not work out the way you planned. There's forgetfulness. I kind of dabble in that too. If I don't write it down, I forget it. It goes in my mom brain and right back out. I'll come down the stairs and forget what I'm coming down for by the time I get to the bottom. So then you have laziness. You just don't want to do it. And in today's society and world, I feel like we're so overstimulated with economic issues, world issues, local issues, personal issues, that we're just like, I don't want to deal with anything or anyone. So I am in that too. Confidence, if you lack confidence in yourself, it's going to show. So the more confident you feel, the more you're going to portray that to other people, even complete strangers. And then the last one is conformity. You do not like to conform to what's happening or the most popular trends or any system or regularity that can cause issues. So identifying which one you feel you most relate to, and you might relate to multiple of them. Identifying your obstacle and then going through the process of how you're going to overcome that obstacle. So no, I don't want to write every single thing I need to do down. I should be able to remember it, but I can't. And that also helps with my impulsivity, that if I have a list, I can stay on task because I know that I have things I have to do. And if I have to time block things to make sure I get them done, I do it because I'm a visual person and I like things to be pretty and colorful. So I categorize each event. If you make an appointment with me in person, it's light green. If you make an appointment with me on Zoom, it's gray on my calendar. That way I know, and I can see that color association. I know right when and where, what I have to do, where I need to be. So do what works for you, but identifying that and then recognizing how you want to change that. So you're going to break down your obstacle, which I kind of already did. Why am I impulsive? Identify the root source of the obstacle. Like I said, I like to learn all, be all, do all. So I'm all over the place unless I have a rigid schedule. What happens if I continue this pattern? Now I'll be honest, I'm a very busy person. I stay busy. I don't like to be bored. So that's probably part of my root cause as well. But if I can acknowledge that, yes, I may be busy, but I'm not doing purposeful work at times when I'm just running around and being busy and not sticking to my schedule, then it's going to be more meaningful than hey, I need to really focus on this calendar. Then how am I going to overcome this? I'm going to put my time blocks in every week. I'm going to set a time block to time block because you need the time to prepare. And then I'm going to make it fit to me. If you want your calendar all in color, you want to write it down in all the same pen color, that's up to you. Whatever makes sense for you, that you will actually do it. That's the goal, is for you to actually do it. And then when will I see results from overcoming my obstacle? This is something that I think people completely overlook all the time. You set a goal, you set a New Year's resolution. I want to lose 20 pounds. Cool. So it's February, it's March, I'm doing my exercising, I'm eating healthy. I'm not really seeing much of a difference. Well, if it's not working, what I'm doing is not working, I'm just going to give up. When should you expect to see results? Once you have an understanding of that timeline, you are less likely to be let down or feel like something's not working. So if my goal is to set up my time blocks, my major top 5 time blocks for the first quarter or all of next year, when should I start seeing, if my time block is lead generation? So I'm gonna set my time block for lead generation every day, 9 to noon, Monday through Friday. When should I start seeing a difference in my business if I'm setting those time blocks? Is that gonna be immediately? Is it gonna be within a month? When do you feel like that would? You know, kind of know if you're reaching out back to your database, you kind of know what the timeline will look like. Sometimes, you know, attending Bold, it could be that day. So setting up that expectation of when you should see results is a huge thing for you. Because if you expect to see immediate results and you're not getting immediate results, you're not likely going to continue doing it. So now that we have our purpose set, we need to set our priority. You need to set the priority of making habits. Then it will work its way up. So we need to, now that we've got in that mindset that we realize we want to make better decisions for our business that is going to generate us more money. Statistically, you are more likely to achieve your goal if you write it down. I think it's like a 38% more likely. Like it's astonishing just by writing something down how much more likely you are to reach it. So recognizing your best option. Dedication doesn't have an off season. You got to keep going. So in order to keep you moving, in order to keep you doing things you should be doing, you need something you like. Like I said, if you're not a tech person and you want to write everything down in a planner, buy a planner. I'm not saying you have to do everything by your phone or by a computer. I have a little bit of everything. At home, I have a paper calendar. That way my husband can see it and tell me he didn't see it on the calendar. I don't use my phone at all for a calendar, which ironically would make the most sense, but the way my brain works, it doesn't apparently. I prefer the paper calendar so I can see it. I do color code it at home too, because I'm a visual person. I have all my little colored pens, but at work I use my Google Calendar and that is it. I have a paper calendar that I hang next to my desk that has my home stuff on it, like the kids' appointments, games, stuff like that. But I also put it on the digital calendar, but I don't use the digital calendar outside of work. So whatever works best for you, whatever makes the most sense to you is what you need to use. So just a couple examples of digital. Google, it's free, it's easy. That can translate to your phone if you want it, both. If you have an Android, you can attach the Google Calendar to it. If you have a Google phone, you already have Google Calendar on it. If you have an iPhone, you can link your Google Calendar to your iPhone, or you can download the Google Calendar app. So that one is pretty transparent across the board. You get email notifications when you get Google invites and stuff like that for meetings. So that's a pretty transparent one. It's free and it's fairly easy to use. You have your phone calendar. If you want to just set it in your phone's default calendar app, you absolutely can. There are different calendar options for, I would say more for teams or for people who interact or calendars connect with other businesses or other companies or other people. There's Monday.com or Asana. You do have to pay for those, but they are very user friendly. And again, you can link up multiple calendars together at once. And then if you're more of a paper person, there's always paper calendars. You can get literally just about anywhere. I mean, I've never seen them in the gas station, but outside of that, Kroger, Walmart, Meijer, you can go to anywhere just about to get a paper calendar, even the dollar store. And then there are planners. Again, wide variety of where you can get those from as well. So just do what's going to work best for you. So then finding your top 5, I'm going to grab these for you. If you are on Zoom, I apologize, I forgot to send this to you, but I have a little worksheet for you in helping you identify your top 5. So your top 5 most important things that you want on your calendar. So time is money, waste it now, pay for it later. Quote by Benjamin Franklin. If that is not the truest thing I've ever heard. In your business especially, time is money. If You may think going to the store instead of lead generating is not going to hurt your business, but 2 weeks down the line, 2 months, 2 years down the line, who did you miss out on that? One, that relationship could have led to more opportunities, and two, just making that connection could have gotten you an opportunity right then and there. You know, we get mad when our family or our friends go with another real estate agent, but what did we not do to make them know that you're available at all times? I'm in Bold right now, and the Bold coach, Michael Flores, he made a comment about this, which really stuck with me. He used to, so he's a real estate agent in Texas, but he also is a Bold coach, MAPS coach. And he was posting a lot of stuff about MAPS and about Bold. And one of his past clients, good friends, used another real estate agent because he thought that Michael was no longer selling real estate because all he posted about was Bold and about MAPS coaching. So he thought he wasn't an active agent anymore. And he was like, no, no, no. He's like, ever since then, I never posted about Bold. He said, I may do one every great once in a while, but outside of that, I'll never do it again. And that is exactly it. He lost an opportunity of a client he already built that relationship with because they misunderstood what he was doing in life. So your top 5. So think about the 5 most important things you must have on your schedule, vacation included.
Okay.
And make those your first priority for scheduling. So we're talking fitness. If you work out every day, I know you run a lot. That's a part of your schedule. It's important. That's good for you. It's good for your health, good for your mentality overall. Appointments that you want to set. Now, obviously, those are going to vary from time to time, but if you know your kids or your family members, they have certain events that happen on certain days and certain times, make an appointment block. Make that in a family appointment. That way you're not over scheduling yourself on family time with your clients. So when I have, during the summer, we live at a baseball or football field, but every Tuesday through Thursday, I think it was like 5:30 to 7, my son had football practice. So if I was a real estate agent, I would put that family block, and you don't even have to put the detail. If you just know generally those days or during that season when they practice, when they have games, or when you have family events, that way when your client asks for that time, I'm sorry, I have an appointment. You don't have to say I have my kid's football game. You don't say I have this doctor's appointment. You don't have to make I have an appointment at that time. And they're like, okay, understand you're not available. So figure out your top 5. And then you're going to put them on your calendar. So on this worksheet, so prioritizing. So you have potential, importance, and ease. So potential is how much improvement can be made in this area. 1 is little improvement. You don't need much. 10 is a lot of improvement. So you're going to write your top 5 in the little lines.
Yeah.
Then you're going to grade the potential, importance, and ease of them. So importance, how valuable is this towards growing your real estate business? 1, not so important. 10, very important. Ease, how difficult will it be to complete this task? 1, not easy, all the way up to 10 as very easy. So if you want to take a few minutes, go ahead and write out your top 5 things that you want on your calendar. And then you're going to kind of grade them between 1 to 10 on potential, importance, and ease. And then we'll total those. If you're on Zoom, you can just kind of write them out. So just put your top priorities of what you want on your calendar, and then kind of grade them as 1 to 10 of potential, importance, and ease. Ooh. Disregard the timer. I don't know what I just did here. That one on. Okay, good. Don't know if I don't remember if I, there we go. If you're on Zoom, there's what it looks like, so you can see it a little better.
Would education be separate, like education classes?
I think so. If you feel like that's of importance for your business, absolutely. You know, when you ladies have your 5 on there in school.
So do we add them together, all a total?
Just do it across.
Okay.
So your potential importance and ease of each, just total that and put that in the last column. Okay. Are you ladies all set? Awesome. So looking at all 5 of your top 5 are under the importance column. Are any of them, did you rate less than 5? No? Yes, no? Any of them? In this importance column?
No, I did.
What did you rate less than 5?
Vacations.
Why do you feel like it is less than 5?
I don't know if that's really gonna help me with my real estate business.
Yes, it is.
But does it help with your mindset,
Yeah,
With your family?
with your family?
Yeah.
Your home life is just as much as part of your business as your business life.
sure.
So if it's less than 5, likely it shouldn't be on your calendar. Yes, vacation should be on your calendar. That should be a higher. I'm the same way. I'm like, do I need vacation? Yes, you need vacation. If you take it if you can. So outside of that, because I feel you underrated. We're gonna scratch that, pretend that didn't happen. No. If it's less than 5 and it is not personal related, it realistically probably shouldn't be on your calendar. A lot of the times we are gonna take personal matters and make it a low priority, and is just as much as important of a priority because it affects your mindset, it can affect your health, your overall well-being, and that affects your business. Whether we like to admit it or not, it does. So making sure you have your top 5. All right. And then now that you have ranked your top 5 tasks, these are what you're gonna start putting on your calendar first. So Barbara, do you want to share anything that you put on there?
Yeah.
What are your top 5?
I put appointments, I put fitness, vacation, education classes, and working with clients.
Okay. And then which one of those has the lowest ease score?
The lowest, well, there are 2 that are fighting to be to get the fitness and the working with clients.
Okay. So those should be the first 2 things you schedule. The things that are the hardest are what you should schedule first, and you should schedule them at your peak time of the day. If you're a morning person, do it then. If you are a night owl, do it then. Ideally, they say to put, I know Gary says I'm going a little against the grain, and he says to do your one thing first thing in the morning. That's great and all, but if you're not a morning person, you don't want to do anything.
Right.
Now understand that opens the mindset for the day, it gets you going, it gets you motivated. But if you've tried that and that's not realistic for you, you want to this is all about making it customized to your mentality, your life. If you are not a 5 a.m. wake up, jump out of bed, go work out, or that's not realistic for your life, like myself, my husband leaves before I can even, so I'd have to get up at like 4 o'clock and work out. And if I wanted to go out and run or go out of the house, otherwise I'm the only parent in the morning with my kids, they're 10 and 6, that's not realistic for me to leave them alone. So morning would not work best for me. Evening would work best for me.
Yeah.
So you gotta work with your schedule with what's realistic with you. If you want to make that first thing in the morning, that's when you pump out your hardest thing, that's fine. And it can be more beneficial because when you get to the end of the day, you're going to be tired. You may not want to do it, but if that's when you feel like that's your most motivated time, that's when you do the hardest things. Great. So meaningful time blocking. Time isn't the main thing, it's the only thing, by Miles Davis. So you want to set up your calendar to make it meaningful. You don't want to time block every minute of every day of your life because that is not realistic. Things are going to come up. Kids are going to get sick. Family members are going to have emergencies. You are going to have emergencies. Your buyer is going to have a complete meltdown. Your seller is going to want to, I don't know, probably assault somebody. I don't know. So things are going to come up. So you need to schedule what you absolutely need to do, but still allow areas for life to happen because everything doesn't happen to a T like we want it to every day. Oops, I went backwards. So this is a nice little snippet of my calendar. This is probably in September, I think. So every morning we have a leadership huddle. It's on there every day. These are things that I typically put on my schedule. I cannot reschedule.
Okay, so like you use blue.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I use blue for my leadership huddles in the morning. Things that pop up that I want on my calendar, but I'm not necessarily involved in or also in blue, but make it again to what makes sense to you. So then every Monday, I have this block that does not change. I send a listing, Cat Partners listing to the PC admin. I check on the new agent progress of all of our new agents. I check on luxury prospects for our office every Monday. At that time, I was doing a regional newsletter, so I was preparing that. At that time, I was covering the front desks on Mondays and Thursdays. So I have it in pink. So anything I'm doing task-wise is in purple. So these are tasks that I need to complete. Anything in pink was front desk related. And then anything in green was who I'm meeting in person. So that's how I know, because I meet with a lot of agents. I meet with agents at KW Excel in Westerville. So just to keep it clear on if it's in person or if it's over Zoom. If it's green, I was meeting them in person. If it's gray, it's a Zoom. Even if it was a class I was taking or anything over Zoom, it was gray. Like my regional meeting call every Monday is gray. You see in orange, I have my kids' stuff. And then these dark blue is my scheduling or prep blocks for marketing or just overall prep. But as I go through my week, you look at my calendar, it looks like this all the time. So I had a lunch with Whitney Small this day, and things in red I cannot get out of. These are my hard stops. These are my number ones. These are things I cannot reschedule. If I'm doing tech training, if I have bold, if I'm meeting with my maths coach, we're paying for that, so I can't miss that. You know, having relationships with my agents, I'm not missing that. So I use a color system because that's what makes sense for me. I'm a visual person. I can easily identify what it is, where I need to be, or what I need to be doing based on just the color. And then I can read into what it actually is, what I need to be doing, and so forth in the details.
What's the gray charcoal?
I use this for all Zoom calls.
Okay.
Again, you can make it to whatever makes sense for you. And then up here at the top, I'll put things like holidays, random boss days. If I know an agent is testing or a soon to be new agent is testing, I'll put it up there to remind myself to text them to say good luck. If I know you have a birthday coming up, or you know, if it's an anniversary of a lost loved one, I'll put it up there to remind myself to reach out to you. Hey.
Okay, I just came in to say she actually sticks to her time blocking and is really, really good at it. So I will vouch for her that she's a pro.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Yes, I am somebody who, like I said, I know I realize my brain is very impulsive. I like, you know, if there's conversation going on in the hallway and I feel like I can help, or someone comes into my office, start talking with me, and I could just be like, whew. So I use this to stay on task because I like structure. I don't like missing things, and I like being ahead of schedule or on time. So if I don't use this, then I'm just, might as well be spinning in circles.
When's your birthday?
In September, I'm a Libra.
A Libra, okay.
Yeah. My astrology sign, in case anyone wanted to
It
know.
makes a difference.
They can, yeah. So that's what, so I just kind of made this cute little thing. So
Ooh.
whatever color code, I know this looks overwhelming. Whatever color coding makes sense, if that makes sense for you, or if you want it all one color. I'm gonna pick on Holly for a minute. Hope this is okay. Holly does very similar time blocking on her schedule. She has a certain color for her son's activities, certain color for work, and certain color that she does. She works with a builder, Bob Webb, so anything related to that is another color. So it can be as generic as home and work, whatever makes sense to you, but having a system that you like, and that even if that's on paper, if you have two pens, one's red, one's blue, work's red, home's blue. That helps you, again, visually, you can see the difference in what is what. But yes, so you want your, whichever is your highest point of the day, meaning your go time, your peak, that's when you do the best work. You want to put that first. If that's in the morning, you put it up there. Then your second highest score on that spreadsheet or on that worksheet, third, fourth, and then fifth. Because, and you want, if you want to do the ease, if you want to base it off the ease, then you might need to switch it around a little bit, but. Yes, use a system that makes sense to you. That is the most important thing out of having a calendar. So now we have our purpose. We built on the priority. Now we're gonna become more productive because we have a plan. We have an action of how we want to schedule our calendar and how we want to move forward. So staying accountable. Personal accountability requires mindfulness, acceptance, honesty, and courage. That's kind of what we've all talked about already. So setting that goal and sticking to it. So set it now. Set up your schedule now, right now. We know life's gonna happen. We know things are gonna change. But if you have a plan already in place, it's a lot easier to tweak that plan than trying to start in the chaos of whatever's happening in life. So set it now. This can be the slower time for real estate, being around the holidays, but take some time to really prioritize what you want to do for next year. And then it is a lot easier to, I'll backtrack real quick. It's a lot easier to see this prep. Some emergency comes up and I need to meet with a client at 3 o'clock. I can move this prep to here, 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 or here. There's so many more options for you when you already have it mapped out. And then that also helps you on the flip side, decide what you absolutely cannot do. So if this time needs to change, I know I can't put it at 2 on Wednesday because I'm teaching during that time. And I know I can't do it at noon on Friday because I'm going to lunch with Whitney. So not only does it help you move through that chaos, it also helps you say where you absolutely cannot. So if you don't have this planned out, you have to move this. You don't have all your hard stops or your top 5 in here. And you say, okay, I can do it at 2 on Wednesday. And then bing, light bulb goes off after you've had that conversation. I can't do it at 2 on Wednesday. Now you're telling your client you gotta move again. And again.
Yeah,
And then they're gonna be like, well, obviously you don't care about me. So we can't predict life, but we can help move through the chaos a little better if we have it set up ahead of time.
can I ask about one screen?
Yeah.
The one after your calendar, your color calendar, that
This
one. I'm confused about what you said about that.
So now I just put this in as an example for like the color coding and stuff. You want to schedule your highest scoring or item first
Okay,
and then go from there. Now, you don't necessarily have to put your highest scoring thing at the very first appointment or time of the day.
okay,
Your highest score could be down here if you prefer to be a night person. So it can
Okay.
be tweaked based on what makes the most sense to you, but
okay.
doing the hardest things or the highest scoring things first, whether that's
Just when you do the calendar.
right.
Mhm.
Oops. So next thing, live by your calendar. If it's not on your calendar, it doesn't happen. Just like Gary says, if you don't write it down, it doesn't exist. We just went through this.
Yep.
Life happens, but when you have that schedule out, you can easily move things around and still stay accountable, still not cause mass chaos. You're not trying to coax your client into something while you're on your way to your kid's soccer game. Because you have that on your calendar, you know you're not available at that time. And if you do, something does come up, You can prioritize, okay, is this a hard stop? Is this a red? Is this something I cannot reschedule? Then that tells you I absolutely can't do it at this time. But if this was a prep block or something that's not as of high priority, still important, but can be done on a different day, you can easily reschedule that to accommodate the emergency or the fire that's happening. But that still gives you an easier mindset and a little less craziness around what can I do and when. Says, yeah, even if you add something last minute, add it to your calendar. And from a business standpoint, it also helps you go back and track what are you spending your most time on and what is most beneficial for your business? Where are you making the most money off of spending your time? So it does help from a business standpoint, logical, statistical standpoint, to see where you're spending your time and how that is generating you money. Schedule, prep, like I said, time block to time block, recovery, and interchangeable time blocks. So give yourself time to recover from vacation, long weekends, illness. So I'm sorry, I'm giving everybody seizures almost. So say I'm out of the office on Monday, say we were out for Columbus Day. I would put a recovery block in here at some point of my day to make up for the time I was out here. And that can be, so say you go on vacation for a week. I would put, say I'm coming back to the office on Wednesday. This whole 2-hour block would be, my recovery color is yellow. I'd put a yellow block here. That gives me time to read all the emails that I didn't read while I was on vacation. That gives me time to call people back if they left me a voicemail. That gives me time to, you know, catch up on anything that I need to. That gives me time to prepare for the rest of the week. So if you're out sick, or if you took a couple days off, heaven forbid you had COVID or got quarantined because a family member had COVID. Yes, you can do work for the most part if you're not too ill, but set those time blocks to help you make up, because nothing is a more worse feeling to me than feeling like I'm behind from the get-go. If I purposefully, this is the mother in me, I purposely give myself extra time in the morning to get ready, to get to work, because my kids don't like to wake up in the morning and I hate being late. I can't control how people drive and what accidents I'm gonna come into contact with on my way to work. I can't control anybody else, but I can control me. So I give myself extra time. So that way, if I wake up late, if my kids are being a hassle, if there's an accident, I'm still at work on time, because it bothers me that much to be late to something that I account for that. So give yourself those extra time. If you have a listing or a buyer appointment at 4 o'clock on a Friday, you know traffic is going to be chaos. So give yourself extra time. So if you blocked that for 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, if you know you need to leave by 3:30, time block that at 3:15. So you know you're leaving on time, as long as you remember that that's why you time blocked it, and don't leave it like 2 o'clock to get there at 3:15 to realize it's at 4.
Right.
That wouldn't work.
No.
But give yourself enough time so you ensure that it's gonna be there. If you get off task, just reschedule it. I feel like this is something that it happens to me a lot, and I'm like, oh, I didn't get to this. And then I beat myself up because I got off my schedule. Reschedule it. There was other blocks. I'm sorry, I'm going back again. There was other openings in my schedule.
Yeah.
I try to leave my Thursdays and Fridays a little more open. That way the chaos from the beginning half of the week can trickle into the second half and I'm not drowning. But if I miss this prep because a fire came up, or I missed, something else because something emergent happened, move this prep block over Thursday or Friday on my slower days to make up for what I lost. Because as I said, it's gonna happen. Life is gonna happen. So now we have our purpose. We've gotten our mindset to make things a priority. we are gonna start tracking how it's gonna make us productive. And then from doing that, you're gonna see profit. So you may think that, oh, a silly calendar is not gonna make or break my business. It is gonna make a difference, because when you have a plan, you're more actionable, and action leads to results. That's it. All right. Any questions?
I have an extra paper of that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Does anyone on Zoom have any questions? Anything you want to see through again?
No, everything seems good.
Good. I don't know why this isn't working. There we go. Hi, Toy.
Hi.
All right. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. Hopefully this is helpful. Go out and buy your calendar or download your calendar and get to work on it, because it's already mid-November. Next week's Thanksgiving. Then before you know it, it's Christmas.
I know.
So, and then you're into the new year. So
Yeah,
I will record this and put this up on both Market Center's YouTube channel. So if you want to look back on it, feel free to.
Okay.
You guys have a good day. Thank you so much.
You also. Bye-bye.